Neffertia, and I'm one of the coaches for the Multiliteracy Center. And this workshop is about stress management. So the piece of paper that I gave you is a stress inventory that a few doctors came up with. So it should be pretty legit. So have you finished it yet, or
Not yet, almost.
So the common causes of stress with high school students, middle school students, college students is mainly like academic pressure, especially you being a high school senior, like having to keep your grades up and having something to look impressive like on a college application. And then poor sleeping habits. You see this more common among college students because we tend to pull all-nighters when we're studying. If we're doing something last minute, like half a paper, I know I'm guilty of it, staying up like forever trying to finish a paper. Full schedules, doing extracurricular activities, planning for career fairs, having jobs, like just trying to build your resume. And then poor eating habits. And that goes along with like pulling the all-nighters, like ordering Domino's or ordering Jimmy John's or something, like something fast and easy to eat.
The bag of chips is easier to
Yeah.
open than.
And then, so stress can cause a lot of can have a lot of physical effects on you. So this is a quick little, I think it's about 2-minute video, and it explains the effects it can have on your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system.
Within your nervous system is a branch called the autonomic nervous system. This is the component responsible for the regulation of subconscious bodily processes like breathing, reflexes, digestion, and organ function. The ANS can be divided into 2 branches: sympathetic, fight, fright, or flight, or parasympathetic, rest, digest, restore. We can experience instantaneous imbalance, or we can experience long-term compounding imbalances.
The sympathetic response ensures the survival of our species. If we're confronted with a life-threatening situation, our bodies will react by redirecting the blood and the resources from the immune and digestive processes to our arms, legs, and brain so we can fight or flee. A shadow of this response is also triggered chronically by everyday things. Things like the daily commute, or money worries, or deadlines, or food choices, or the 100 emails you get a day, or the fact that there is just never enough time. All of these things are stresses, and they all add up to tip the balance of your ANS towards the draining sympathetic dominant state.
The parasympathetic response also ensures the survival of our species, but without it, we would not grow and regenerate or heal from taxing situations. When we are in a relaxed and safe place, our bodies have the ability to slip into a state that allows us to recover and restore. Prolonged parasympathetic dominance can find you staying too long in that slow and steady place, and that's when you may find yourself becoming lethargic, apathetic, or lacking a spring in your step.
And then along with the physical effects, stress can cause a lot of mental and behavioral effects too, like burnout, cognitive functioning, and that affects like your decision making, personality changes. You can become more irritable. You can go into like a depression with it. And then it also affects people with bipolar disorder. So bipolar disorder is basically people have really high highs and then they have really low lows. And then when they're in their manic phase, it can last anywhere from like a week to a few months. And then when they're in their depressive stage, it can last anywhere from a week to a few months. But the more stress that person has, it can trigger them into going into their really manic phase or their really depressive phase. And then it could also have an effect on how long it lasts. So if their depressive phase only lasts about a week, it can actually cause them to prolong it. So instead of having that episode for a week, they can have it for a month. And then it also affects anxiety. People with anxiety can intensify their anxiety. And then some coping mechanisms. We usually experience good coping mechanisms and bad coping mechanisms. some good ones are exercise, and it doesn't have to be anything really rigorous. It could be I guess if you have a dog, just take the dog for a walk, or go on like a little short walk with a friend or something. And then meditation. And something really cool about meditation, because I know I can't like sit and just be quiet for like a long amount of time. So with meditation, it could be something from even reading a book or listening to music, because it takes your mind off of what's stressing you out and making you focus on something else. And then hobbies, if you like to cook, or if you like to bake, or if you like to knit, or some people started doing like the adult coloring books. I don't know, but that might work for someone. And then some bad coping mechanisms is drinking, especially with college students. When some people get stressed out, it's easy to just go to the bar and kind of drink it away. And then stress eating, like with the bad eating habits. I know like around finals time, it's easy for me to go to Walmart and get like the Ben & Jerry's ice cream and like literally just sit there and eat the whole thing. And then overexposure is when you just try to get through it as fast as you can and get it over with. And that can be bad, because that can really lead to burnout. And then, so here's another video. And this is about procrastination.
Oh, we're good at this.
Let's face it, you're likely watching this video in an effort to avoid some other tasks. You're procrastinating to learn how to stop procrastinating. The clock is ticking, so why can't you seem to stop? Though the psychological causes are still debated, there's a human tendency to over or underestimate the value of a reward based on its temporal proximity. This is often referred to as temporal discounting. For example, if I offered you $100 today or $110 in a month, most would take the 100 and run. But what if, instead, I offered you $100 in a year or $110 in a year and 1 month? Suddenly you might say to yourself, if I can wait a year, I can wait the extra month. But the time and value difference are the exact same in each example. It turns out that human motivation is highly influenced by how imminent the reward is perceived to be, meaning the further away the reward is, the more you discount its value. This is often referred to as present bias or hyperbolic discounting. So being on Facebook, Reddit, Twitter, or YouTube is more rewarding than a perfect score on your test, until temporal proximity increases the value of a good mark on your test, and you cram all night. On top of this, every time something enjoyable happens, you get a dose of dopamine, which modifies the neurons in your brain, making you more likely to repeat the behavior. The problem is, video games or browsing the internet provide many small, quick, and continuous rewards, unlike your term essay, which is a one-time future reward. So how do you overcome the intrinsic urge to put off so many tasks? Unfortunately, there isn't just one solution, but try rewarding yourself in intervals with a snack, the internet, or other enjoyable activities. The Pomodoro technique makes use of a timer. Work for 25 minutes straight, and when you're done this, give yourself the reward in a 5-minute break. Then start the working clock again. Gradually increasing the amount of work time you put in will improve your high-level executive functioning. Acknowledge your procrastination. Your future self will procrastinate. It's been shown that creating a self-imposed, costly deadline is an effective way to manage your working habits, with externally imposed deadlines being even more effective. Also, try and enjoy the process of achieving something. Instead of thinking only 20 more minutes of torture, try thinking I'm doing something great or I enjoy being productive. To the same token, make a list of the reasons you want to complete the goal. Reinforcing that you want to do it minimizes indecision. Oftentimes, procrastination is a symptom, not a cause, and the power of being properly motivated can take you far. Finally, if you can, remove the temptations. Turn off the internet, uninstall your favorite game, or work somewhere else. Putting obstacles in the way of your procrastination tools can be a great trick to keep you on track. Got a burning question you want answered? Ask it in the comments or on Facebook and Twitter, and subscribe for more weekly science videos.
And then this is the part 2 of the video. It's about how to increase productivity.
In a world that seems busier by the day, productivity is on the minds of many. But instead of downloading the latest time management app or forcing yourself to stay at work for hours on end, how can we use science to crack open the potential of our minds? Is there a secret to being productive? The first thing to come to terms with is that your willpower is simply not enough. In fact, some studies suggest that willpower is an exhaustible source that can be entirely used up. This is a concept known as ego depletion. So instead of convincing yourself to simply try harder, a more methodical approach is suggested. The first step,
Get started. It may seem obvious, but studies have shown starting a project to be the biggest barrier to productivity. Before starting, our brain visualizes the hardest parts to come and instead tries to simulate real work by focusing on small, mindless tasks. Luckily, there's a construct of the mind known as the Zeigarnik effect, which compels humans to finish a task that they've already started. The Zeigarnik effect shows that when we don't finish a task, we experience discomfort and intrusive thoughts about it. So get started, now. What about time management? Shockingly, when we look at some of the most elite musicians in the world, we find that they aren't necessarily practicing more, but instead more deliberately. This is because they spend more time focused on the hardest task and focus their energy in packets. Instead of diluting their effort over the entire day, they have periods of intense work followed by breaks. Not relying on willpower, they rely on habit and disciplined scheduling. Studies have found that the most elite violinists in the world generally follow a 90-minute work regime with a 15 to 20-minute break afterwards. Instead of trying to maintain energy throughout the entire day, breaking it down into sessions with planned relaxation is most effective. But how can you develop the discipline to follow this routine? One key component is giving yourself a deadline. Write it down, mark it in your calendar, and you'll be much more likely to complete your task. On top of this, create something called an accountability chart to document your progress. In one column, write the time span, and in the other, the activities you accomplished during this time. Similar to those on a diet who document their food intake, writing down your progress allows you to realistically evaluate your work as opposed to inaccurately assuming what you've done. Furthermore, tracking your progress helps to avoid small, mindless work. And finally, stop multitasking. While it may feel like you're accomplishing more, studies show that multitaskers are much less productive. Instead, try and make a list at night of what you want to accomplish tomorrow. This way, you hit the ground running with your action plan and avoid trying to complete multiple activities at once. While you're at it, split up your large tasks into smaller bite-sized ones. Your brain will find these less daunting and it will make the starting process easier. With a clear goal and action plan in mind, your productivity levels can soar to new heights. Want more tips and information on productivity? Check out Gregory Ciotti's blog, Sparring Mind, who we worked with to make this video. We'll link to the productivity article in the description where you can find even more information. And be sure to sign up for his newsletter, which covers other amazing brainy content. Got it for any question you want answered? Ask it in the comments.
So let's talk about the video. So was it something that he mentioned that's like really helpful or something that you think you'll start doing?
Maybe like accountability list things. Maybe starting outside of the school cut I actually got done.
You want me to stop too?
Oh yeah. But I already stopped
No, I've actually been, starting to like to write the list, the sites, there are 20 different projects and I cannot have anything done.
Yeah.
And so it's like really felt more rewarding, like this week at work I've gotten a few things accomplished that it was like, yes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's some good ideas that make sense.
I know ever since I watched the video, something that I did was I broke up things into small chunks. So I would say if I get at least 2 pages done, I can watch American Horror Story, or I can eat my Ben & Jerry's ice cream. So like just breaking it up and then making sure like you reward yourself, because people do like instant satisfaction. So if you just sit there 8 hours straight studying, you're not really, I mean, you might look at the book, but you won't learn anything from it. Just like kind of break it up and reward yourself after. And then some other healthy ways to deal with stress is he mentioned time management and then social support. It's great if you get a group of friends together and you kind of make a study group. Eat well-balanced meals, limit alcohol and caffeine, and then really make sure you sleep. Because the reason why all-nighters and cramming isn't a good idea is because your brain needs time to process the new information. So you have to make sure you sleep, because if you don't sleep, you'll have those moments where you get to an exam and then you sit there and then it feels like you just completely forgot everything you studied. So your brain really needs time to process the new information. And then I'm sure you'll hear about it, like on your campus tour and stuff like that. We do have resources. The Wayne Water Center, especially like you're coming in as a first year student, they have the Excel program, they have academic success coaches to kind of help you with time management, counseling services, the Multiliteracy Center. If you have a paper and you feel like you're not that good of a writer, we can kind of help you through different brainstorming techniques and kind of help you structure your time so writing a paper will be less stressful. And then the Center for Diversity and Inclusion, they have like an open door policy, so if you feel like extremely overwhelmed, you can always go in there and talk to anybody. And then the Wellness Center, they put on different like meditation, breathing exercise events. They bring like dogs to campus because people really like puppies. So, and then for the end of the presentation, I found this 5-minute yoga at your office desk video. So this is kind of an interactive thing. And then this is something that you can sit in your chair and do.
Michael,
Do it. Yeah.
Hi, welcome to the second set of Absolute Yoga Academy's 5-minute yoga tutorial series. I'm Kirby Koo, certified Absolute Yoga instructor and official blogger for Absolute Yoga Academy. In this series, we're going to continue to share tips and tricks from yoga to improve your lifestyle in just 5 minutes a day. So let's get started.
Yoga at your office desk. In this video, I'm going to show you some yoga poses that can be done at your office desk to re-energize you for the rest of the day. Seated at your desk, let's start by stretching out the torso. Lift your arms above your head and reach for the stars. Maybe interlacing the fingers and stretching to one side. Breathing a lot here and then coming on to the other side. Feeling the side stretch of the body. Keep stretching upwards until you feel yourself grow taller while you reduce the tension in your head, neck, and shoulder. Nice. Deep cleansing breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's bring your arms back down by your side now and relax shoulders with some gentle circles. Start to roll your shoulders back gently, being mindful of the movement. Perhaps even closing your eyes here to really tap into your senses. Nice. A couple more deep cleansing breaths, circling the shoulders. And reversing now. Rolling the shoulders forward this time. Again, breathing with awareness, clearing the mind, silencing the thoughts, and just embracing the sensations. Beautiful. Another great arm stretch is eagle arms. Now that you've warmed up the shoulder and arms, sit up nice and tall. Bring the arms in front of you at a 90-degree angle, shoulder level, and cross the arms so that the right arm is above the left. Twist the arms together like ropes and press the palms together with the tips of the fingers pointing skyward. Feel the compression here, strengthening the shoulders and back. Elevating the arms so that the elbows are shoulder level if that's available to you. Breathing a lot. Now, on to the other side. Arms in front at a 90-degree angle and crossing the arms so that the left arm is above the right this time. Twisting the arms and pressing your palms together with the tips of the fingertips pointing up. This posture is great for combating or preventing carpal tunnel syndrome, a common syndrome for today's high computer usage. Lift your elbows so that they are shoulder level if that feels good. Breathing, and when you've had enough, a gentle release into a final side twist. Place your palms on the side of the seat as you turn your chest and abdomen to the right. Sitting up nice and tall, feeling a gentle spine twist. Take deep cleansing breaths here and keep the chest and heart area open. Breathe in and twist a little deeper, and then coming back to center. Good. Now onto the other side with the same mindfulness. Torso moves to the left with caution and control. Feeling the gentle twist. Twists are great for the spine, especially after long hours of sitting. So one more deep breath. Twist a little deeper on the exhale, and then coming back to center. Great job.
Thank you so much for joining us. For more information on our professional yoga training program, please visit www.absoluteyogaacademy.com. And don't forget to thumbs up if you like.
So that's a little exercise that you can do at work, and then even like in class, I know you have to sit down for like 8 hours a day, that you can, like something quick and easy that you can do. And then that's the end of the presentation.